Hello, and welcome to another episode of Mystic Femininity. Today's episode is manifesting with goddess energy, aligning with your desires. We're going to explore and play in some transformational areas today. Manifesting is about more than just wishing for something to happen. It's not just wishful thinking. It's about aligning your desires with your divine feminine power and allowing the universe to co-create with you. Now, by the end of this episode, you should have a good understanding on how to manifest with intention, trust, and patience. Heavy on the patience, all while staying aligned with your higher self and soul's purpose. Let's dive into some magic. Now, divining the divine feminine in creation. When we create with our goddess energy, it is a beautiful, wonderful, enchanting experience. The divine feminine is inherently creative. We give birth. That to me is one of the highest ways of creation, is giving birth. Now, you may be one who's not wanting to have tiny humans, and that is perfectly okay. But anytime you take an idea and it comes from your mind's eye, and then you birth it into this reality, there is your creativity. So, when this birthing of creation, the goddess births life, and she also births the manifestation of abundance. When you tap into this energy, you align with your natural flow of creation in the universe. Aligning yourself with your higher self. Manifestation isn't just about getting what you want. It's not just about getting a bag. It's not just about getting that guy. It's not about just getting this car or this body or whatever you may think of in this moment. It is about aligning your desires with your higher self and the divine purpose. When you're looking at manifesting, I want you to ask yourself, does this desire truly serve my soul? The spiritual connection with all of this is the divine feminine thrives in the energy of flow, creativity, and intuition. And if you listen to my last episode, we talked all about the intuition. But the energy of flow, creativity, and intuition, all of which are keys to the effective manifestation. Your desires are sacred. The universe wants to help you bring them to birth and to life, but alignment with your higher self is essential. Now, manifesting from a place of trust. The role of trust is the cornerstone of manifestation. When you fully trust the universe, your inner goddess, you can release the resistance and open yourself to receive. I believe in our modern society, there is such a huge issue with resistance and receiving, especially those in the feminine, because our society rewards us for being in our masculine, which is, let me go get it, let me go do it, let me go chase the bag. But to release resistance, which if you're someone who is trying to manifest and you're like, why am I not getting it? What's happening? Why is this happening? It's because there's a lot of resistance, a lot of turbulence. I look at it like traffic. I literally have an order on the way right now and it's sitting in traffic. And that's resistance versus if there was no traffic, it could just boop, it'll be right here, right now. So being able to release your resistance, though, means tapping into the fact that there may be some trust issues. There are some things that may have happened in the past that are holding us back from being truly understanding and trusting the universe. And there are some pieces that are just based off of cultural, familial conditioning that we have had a seed of doubt or a belief system implanted into us that inhibits us from believing and trusting. And it's our job to release that and to get to the root of it and release it and move forward. Another area that kind of pulls us into this resistance is a theme in this world, especially, and it's understandable as to why, but this need of control. To manifest, we have to let go of control. We can't always say it's going to come in this package. So you can have a certain desire. You may say, I want a piece of cake. Great. How that cake gets to you, what kind of cake it gets that you get, what time you get it, how it's served, may all be out of your control. But the ultimate thing that was there was, I want a piece of cake. Or you may even be defined and say, I want a piece of chocolate cake. Okay, cool. All those other things still apply. How it gets to you, what it looks like, all those things are out of your control. But in order for you to receive it in the way of manifestation, trying to control every step blocks your flow of energy. And again, what I just stated just a second ago, the 3 things that you need in order to divinely tap into your feminine energy and get what you're wanting is the energy of flow, creativity, and intuition. So giving up some of this power you may think you have of control, because that is an illusion. It is truly Casper the Friendly Ghost. It is not real. Surrendering doesn't mean giving up. Those are different. Releasing control and surrendering doesn't mean that you're giving up. You're just letting things, cast into the wind. And I think that's where manifestation gets a really bad rap, and where femininity gets a really huge, horrible bad rap, is that they think that, I'm going to be sitting in my feminine. Okay. Yes, you're opening yourself to receive. That doesn't mean that you stop doing everything. What surrendering means is that you are opening up space for the universe to work in your favor. We're co-creating, not just you. And it's not just the universe just giving to you like it's, I've seen certain comments of like, the universe is my sugar daddy. That is not the case. It is a co-creation of the two, but there has to be flow. So you have to do your job so that the universe can do its job. And then boom, we got what we're looking for. Trusting timing. Divine timing is not on our schedule, because those outside of this 3D reality don't do clocks. They don't do time. There is no night. There is no morning. There is no year. There is no month. There is none of this minute stuff. Like, none of that is happening. So you have to trust divine timing, which is definitely outside of our timing. We're just not on the same clock. There is no clock for them. And so with that, it's going to be perfect, but you have to trust the process. You have to allow things to manifest in the most beautiful, aligned form, because sometimes things take time, depending on what it is that you seek. Now, here's an exercise I want you to try. Write down one desire and reflect on how you can let go of control around it. Replace micromanagement with trust and observe your energy shifts. And I really want you to observe how your energy shifts, because that is going to be the way going forward, how you know if you are in flow of trust. Now, some manifestation techniques. We've all heard of law of attraction. Create your vision boards. I will say, with the vision boards and this way of connecting with the universe, it's a lot easier to do a lot of images, because there's not as much resistance. You're not having to say the thing, you're seeing it. It's there. When you're looking at manifestation, it should be what you want, and that's it. Not, well, I don't want to lose my job. All it hears is, I want to lose my job. Focus on the images that inspire the desires that you want, not the opposite. Use your affirmations to reinforce positive energy. So, I'm worthy of the desires of my heart. Everything I desire desires me. I desire and deserve a beautiful, wonderful, abundant life. Whatever it is that you are flowing in with your affirmations. Write down your goals as if they've already happened. So I'm living my dream life with ease and joy. And I want you to really sit into that. And I will say, if you feel any sort of resistance, any sort of angst, write it down and be able to speak life to that thing and be able to release it, because that is, showing you where there's resistance. If you've lived a life where things have not come easy, things have been hard, they've been challenging, acknowledge it. In our world of manifestation and all things sparkly, sometimes we can be a little bit obtuse and not acknowledging reality. But we're not sitting in that. We're not staying in that. That's not our narrative anymore. You do need to acknowledge it, but then pivot it. That you are now living your best life. You're living your dream life. You wake up in the life of luxury. You wake up into the things that you want. You wake up to a job that you are excited about, or whatever it is that you want in your life. I'm always going to keep and push about rituals, because those rituals become our habits, and our habits become our realities. So having a ritual of infusing your manifestations and prayer with the divine energy is monumental. You can light a candle, set your intention. The flame can symbolize the energy of your desire being sent into the universe. Again, that visual connection is so powerful. And incorporate your prayer mantras to invoke your divine support. Something like, I trust my goddess energy to bring what is meant for me. And let that marinate. I trust my goddess energy to bring what is meant for me. And then ground yourself in your manifestations. When you ground your manifestations, it is wonderful if you can spend time in nature to reconnect with your goddess energy. When you do, visualize you have roots that are growing deep into the earth, anchoring your desires. The more that you can embody the feelings of, I already have what I desire, the faster you can align with your manifestations. Patience and faith. These may be a bit touchy areas, because we want what we want it right now. Like in our modern society, we have the ability to tap into our phones, and in an app, we can produce full meals, groceries. We can beckon makeup to come to our doorstep in the same day delivery. Like, we are so now attuned to being able to get things quickly. In manifestation and tapping into your goddess energy of manifestation, it is going to require you to have faith in yourself, your energy, and the universe. Even when things seem uncertain, upholding faith assures that you can remain aligned. This is difficult often because we put it out there, and we may have seen someone, be it on, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, whatever, or even in your day-to-day life, you may have seen someone say, well, I said I wanted this, and in 31 days, I got XYZ. And so you're all hype and ready and excited for that to be you, because you're like, look, Lord, I see what you're doing for others, and I want that for myself. And you put it out there, and then you wait. And days, weeks, months, sometimes even years go by, and that thing has yet to produce. It is difficult if you have shared that thing that you want with others, and then it's not coming. And it begins to feel as though you were crazy for even thinking that you could have that. But I will say the exercise of manifestation and faith are an exercise for us to become stronger, to become wiser and to become more clear in our higher selves. Because sometimes the things that we say that we want is really not of us. It is out of fear. That is in costume of us. We want to say, oh, I want to have this particular type of body. Well, okay, is it because that's what you really want? Like you really see value in it? Or is it out of fear that I need to look like XYZ in order for me to have whatever it is I think I want, or to have this life that I see others with? It could be that I want to have this girl boss job, but really, truly, what you would like is to maybe be a mom and have children and be cared for. But maybe because of conditioning or just fear of what others may think of you, you say this is what you want, and there's this disconnect because the universe, you can't fake the funk with the universe. I know people say, fake it till you make it. You can keep your energy focused on what it is that you desire and keeping your vibe high, all that great. Like you do need to actively do that. But I think when it comes to alignment, what sometimes takes longer, where there is this kind of resistance, is because it's not true. The universe knows the truth. And that's why it wants us to be aligned. Because then if we say what we really want, then things can be a lot easier because they're aligned. Like, I actually want X. I want to be whatever it is that you want to be. Or I want this car. I want this item. I want to manifest X amount of money. Like, if that's really truly your heart's desires, then those things can come. And it comes to me a lot easier, a lot more fluid. And there's some things that may take time, and they are of you, but it's just going to take time. Like to me, when it deals with another person, so you're saying, oh, I want that guy. I'm looking for that guy who's 6'5", brown eyes, working in finance or something. That may take a little bit because it's not just you that we're working on. We're also working on another person and trying to make sure everything collides just right. Like things need to fit just so. You need to pass by this guy who's, looking for a guy in finance. Okay, I don't live or work anywhere near any places that I would run into some dudes that are 6'5", brown eyes who work in finance. And maybe there needs to be a shift in what you're doing and how you're presenting or whatever in order for those things to transpire. So it takes a little time. But if it's truly of your desires, of your heart, then those things can be in flow. And even when things seem to be uncertain, holding faith ensures that you're going to get what it is that you want. And this is difficult. If you are anyone who's been of any sort of religious background, so Christian background, I think of several Bible stories in which there was a need for deep, strong, potent faith. We just need that small seed of a mustard seed to be able to birth out beautiful, big, and bountiful things. But it took faith. That is a non-negotiable thing. You must have faith in what it is that you believe. And then practicing patience. Rushing or obsessing creates resistance. I feel that anytime that you have to rush into something, like there's this push, like buy, go. Unless it's like a fire or some stuff, then yes, I do need you to go. But if it's not that, then that should be like an automatic indicator that something's up. Think about it again. Your intuition is going to be typically a subtle whisper. Rushing, obsession, to me means I have been overtaken by some lower entity. I think about when you are shopping, you're looking online, and these places, they say, oh, this is going to be limited edition, it's going to be this, it's going to be that, and there's just this sense of urge and panic to purchase it, because if I don't, I'm not going to be able to get it. That's resistance. That is resistance at play, and our society has conditioned us to be of that way. Very easy. Patience, however, allows you to align with your natural rhythm of desires manifestation. You're able to embrace your flow because you're a goddess. But that, always keep that in mind. You are a goddess. You are embodying goddess energy. So as a goddess trusts the cycles of nature, they trust the cycles of manifestation processes. They understand that if you were birthing a baby, like, I'm grateful that there are cycles, even though I am very much sometimes an impatient person. I'm very grateful that the things that I may think about sometimes don't immediately happen. Like, if you've ever been in traffic and someone cuts you off, you might I wish that person would hit a medium. I'm grateful that that doesn't occur immediately. There would be a lot of things not right. And so trusting in your goddess energy means that you understand and trust and value the flow of nature, the flow of the cycles of manifestation in the process. Sometimes delays are just simply preparation for something greater. And again, you don't always get to choose how it comes out. But if you really look at what is coming before you, you will see that it is what you believed in. Now, I want you to just think for a moment. Think of one past desire that has manifested beautifully in its own time. How did patience and faith play a role in that? So maybe it's a job that you've wanted and it took you time to get into that position. It may seem like, wow, this took forever for me to get here. But if you really just look at where you are, the time that it took from the belief of wanting to get to where you are probably prepared you in order for you to have the discipline and the understanding, the knowledge, whatever it is, the appreciation for what it is that you have. It's like the journey of maybe releasing weight. This process, it can be very tedious, it can be very hard, but to me, if you go through that, especially if you're someone who's had to lose a significant amount of weight, you have a greater appreciation for your body, for what your body is able to do, and the natural process that it goes through. Now, to wrap us on up for this episode, this week I challenge you to practice one manifestation ritual, whether it is creating a vision board, especially since we're still in a new year, lighting a candle with intuition, or writing affirmations. If you feel so wonderfully, I would love if you could leave a comment on this episode and let me know your thoughts, what your feels, what did you end up doing? And because we don't gatekeep in this particular podcast, if you feel this episode resonated with you, you got an idea, it sparked some desires, I would love it if you'd share it with people, your friends, who are ready to manifest the desires of their heart with grace and divine power. As always, I'm trying to create a community of empowered women who are embracing their inner creators, who embrace their divine feminine. So until next time, make sure you're living your best life.